A few weeks ago, I had a dream. I was with my friends, and we were all in their backyards. We were eating some food when we dropped our utensils in the swimming pool. Me being me, of course, I'm the first one to jump in to grab them. I swim to the bottom of the pool for it only to get deeper. I continue swimming, wondering, where are these utensils? I try to grab them for it to just slip away from my fingers. Eventually, I'm not swimming anymore. I'm sinking. I keep sinking to the bottom of this pool, and I can't escape. The water surrounds me, and I'm lost at the bottom. 1 in 5 people in the United States experience mental illness, which is about 20% of our population. I am one of the 5 people. So 4 of you out there, you can relax, it's not you. I took the bullet for you guys, it's okay. But basically, how do I speak about vulnerability? As a psych major, I went into the study wondering, what the heck is wrong with me? And what can I do to get myself out of this? There's a quote in Mad Men that I would like to share with you guys by Ann Draper. The only thing keeping us from being happy is the idea that we are alone. Who here has read the book, The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein? Okay, great. Well, if you guys don't know it, it's a story about this tree and this young boy. You follow this young boy through various stages of his life. As he grows up, he experiences different things. He no longer is happy with just playing on the tree. He requires different things to be happy. He wants money, he wants a nice house, and you see him come to this tree and ask it, I need this to be happy. The tree loves this young boy. So limb after limb, this tree gives up parts of itself to this boy. This boy leaves the tree, and the tree experiences sadness. Not until the boy comes back, the tree is happy and willing to oblige with anything this boy wants. Eventually, the boy gets old and withered, and the tree is just a stump. Coming back, the tree tells the boy, I have nothing left to give you. I want you to be happy. And the boy sits there and contemplates. He says, I don't need anything. I'm happy being here. And the tree is content as they sit on his lost limb, and they're both happy. This is why vacations such as Black Friday happens every year. Material things will not make you happy in the long run, no matter how many things you get, how many things you acquire. The key to happiness is friendship. There's this study that I came across when I was researching my topic. It was first introduced as a podcast, and it was a podcast that said, how to fall in love with anyone. It was first introduced as a research question that asked various questions, starting from, if you could invite anyone to dinner, who would it be? To, whose death in your family would you most be disturbed by, and why? After these series of questions get asked, the 2 participants are required to look into each other's eyes and just look at each other for 2 to 4 minutes. This isn't a case of falling in love. This is a study on vulnerability. Vulnerability fosters closeness. Vulnerability is the reason that we keep going. Vulnerability is the access point in which we find strength. We do not fall in love with people. we fall into vulnerability, where we trust them. And this study concludes that closeness is the key to becoming in love with someone. In fact, in an age where we can look up anyone about anything just on their Facebook, it has become increasingly hard to become vulnerable with one another. There has been recent studies that babies will be calmed by the voices of their mothers, in contrast to that of another woman's in the same tone and in the same voice. They are calmed knowing that there is someone out there that knows who they are. I find that that is still applicable as an adult. Whenever you do anxiety-producing activities, such as taking tests, like making plans, walking into a Forever 21, or giving a TED Talk, someone naturally looks for faces that they recognize. In a study conducted, Robert J. Wildner gave a TED Talk about this. He was, in fact, the lead conductor of this research that surveyed 700 men over 72 years. Every 2 years, they surveyed these men physically and mentally and how happy they were. Robert concluded that the key to a long life is close friendship. The key to a long, happy life is, in fact, intimacy and vulnerability. As a psych major, if anyone's ever taken an introductory psych class, you know the debate over nature versus nurture. If someone is to be raised on nature alone, would they be able to thrive? Without nurture, such as love, affection, would the child be able to grow up in a healthy environment? In a study conducted in 1944, a researcher took 40 newborn children and separated them. 20 of those babies were put into a sterile environment, and they were given to caretakers that were specifically told to just change them, feed them, and bathe them. They were instructed not to touch them or look at them or talk to them more than necessary. In fact, they were never supposed to talk to them. This study was canceled after 4 months. Half these babies had died. The area was sterile. These babies were physiologically healthy. They did not die because they were ill. Before dying, the babies had experienced, they stopped talking, they stopped asking for attention, they didn't even change their expression. They had given up. These babies just died. This concludes that nurture is a vital source and vital need in the human experience. Vulnerability is defined as a need to be seen. It is seen as a process where one feels validated, understood, and cared for. Researchers often debate that vulnerability and closeness is not a process, but a shared experience between people. Other researchers claim it is mutual respect, mutual understanding, mutual interests, and mutual activities shared amongst people. Which leads me to believe vulnerability is two things: feeling close and acting close. When a few weeks ago, I wasn't feeling too well, I was pretty down, I was pretty depressed. And you know, when you're depressed, people tend to say, come on, get it together, like just do something you love, like do something you're good at. I am a simple girl. I'm not really good at anything. I'm not like, you know, an artist or, you know, anything. I'm pretty simple. I'm not really, and this causes me more stress actually participating in these activities, because I'm like, man, I'm not the best at this sucks. But two things I really love doing is going to LA and making people smile. So I went downtown, I went to the flower district, got 2 bouquets of flowers, and I started handing them out. I would get reactions ranging from, "Oh my God, you're so nice," to, "Oh, I'm too cool for that. Flowers, ew." But they would take the flowers nonetheless, so who's lying now? But basically, one guy that just stuck in my mind was this bus driver. I ran on the bus and I handed him the flower. For a second, we locked eyes and I saw the light in his eyes shine. For a moment, I fell in love with this man. It wasn't a sexual or romantic love, but a love that said, "I see you. I know you are here with me, and I am not alone." We stood there for a few seconds. Those seconds felt like eternity. But eventually people started getting on, and then I had to leave because I was not down to pay money, and I didn't know where this bus was going. So I ran out, but in my darkest of moments, I see that light, and I remember I'm not alone. One of the greatest compliments I've ever received was from a close friend of mine. He told me, "Ariel, you are the human equivalent of unconditional love. And there I find my potential. There I find my greatness.